Good morning. How are you guys? I don't I don't know how I am. I mean, well, I'm good. I did have like a cold, but more than that, I'm frustrated. So like I know the things that I want to say in this video. I just don't really know how they're gonna come out, and I'm just like, whatever, trust the process. So 30 days of consistency has not gone so way has not gone so well. And honestly, I feel like a really big failure right now. Even though, like, well, no, not even though. I just feel like a really big failure right now. I feel like I let myself down. I feel like I am everything that my abuser said I wouldn't be. Or, wait, that doesn't make sense. Everything that my abuser said about me and me not being able to move forward and me not being able to accomplish things and everything, like, I feel like all of those things are true. Even though the reality is that on Saturday, I woke up and I was like, because Saturday I think was supposed to be day 4, and I woke up and I had like it all planned out and I had the video planned out, and it was like a free day, so I was actually gonna try and get 2 or 3 videos done, so I wouldn't feel as rushed each day doing this. And then and the thing is also is that I didn't have any kids on Saturday, like kids that I watch or my own kids. One was at work all day, and then the other one had a play date all day. And it was like, my friend was like, my best friend was like, yeah, you need this because of the big event, the big thing that happened in my life 2 or 3 weeks ago. Time is like not really sticking with me right now. But she was just like, you need a break, and you just need this day, do whatever you want. And I was like, I'm gonna do this day, and I'm gonna work on me, and I'm gonna do things for me. And so I had the day planned out. Like, I was gonna take myself to breakfast, and I was gonna film that, and then, do some like personal stuff, like I cleaned the car. So if you look at it now, it doesn't look like I cleaned the car. Yay for having kids and being with them 24/7. That's not a really good excuse. Whatever. It's just, it is what it is. And and then I went and got an oil change, so now my dashboard isn't lighting up like the 4th of July or Juneteenth or a Christmas tree or whatever. And then my plan was to come home and do some videos and do some voice recordings, because I really want to get my Audible account set up. And breakfast was a fail. I had my mind set on Shoney's breakfast buffet, which I know, like, in the big thing of things, I don't know if that makes sense. In the big deal of things, in the big scheme of things, Shoney's breakfast buffet is not really a big deal. But that's what I wanted. Like, I had my book, I was gonna spend time with me, whatever. And the one Shoney's location that I knew was still like open and operational, well, they're not open or operational anymore. And so then that kind of was like, oh, okay, that was like a bummer. Kind of felt dejected, but it was like, whatever, press on, press forward. And so I came back to the house and I cleaned the car, and I went and got the oil change. I was like, all right, back on track. And then I was going to come back home and do all the things that I want to do for my professional life, for the Special K, for the these videos. Like, I was gonna do all those things, and then my child, whom the big event that is affecting me actually happened to, called me and needed to go to the doctor pretty urgently. So, but it wasn't like so urgent, like we had to go to the emergency room. And in fact, neither one of us was up for sitting in an emergency room. So we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll go to urgent care. And in my mind, I was like, we'll go to urgent care. We'll get this taken care of. And I'll be back home in no time. And I can still get things done. Except we ended up going to four different, it's funny. I had 4 like down here. You couldn't even see it like down there. So I had 4, yeah. We ended up going to 4 different urgent cares before somebody would see him because of the severity of the thing that had happened. So that was a lot more time than I had planned for, allotted for, or anticipated, or whatever. Then my daughter called me and was like, yeah, I'm done. And she was done like 4 or 5 hours early. It was, yeah, one of those. She was done 4 or 5 hours early from work. Definitely not in my plan because, so I was like, all right. So I went and got her. And then, oh wait, no, I didn't go get her. Sorry. We went to 3 urgent cares. Then we went to get her. Then we went to the 4th urgent care. So we waited there, and that was like 2 hours for the doctors to do what the doctors do and everything. And by the time we left there, he wanted me to go to the store for it. Okay, whatever. You know who it is. Whatever. If you know, you know. You just don't know what. But okay, so needed me to go to the store to get some food for his house. So we did that and took him home. Then, you know, made sure he was good and everything. Checked on his dog. And did all the mom things. And then I had to go get Corey. And so by this time, I have literally spent all day, all of the time that I thought that I had on Saturday, I had spent it in my car. And so I go and get Corey, and in my mind, I'm still like, I can do this. I can get at least one video done. I know what I want to do. I know the concept and everything. So whatever, maybe the editing won't be great, but I will get it done. And then, so we go and get Corey, we go and get something to eat, and then we get back to the house. And all of a sudden, I feel like I've been hit by a Mack truck. Like I just, yeah. And I was like, I can still do this. Like I can still do this. But then I realized, no, I can't. Like I just could barely even get myself up the stairs. So grace, right? You know, all those unplanned things happen. That was okay. And I woke up Sunday. I didn't even do strong finish Saturday. On Saturday, kind of because all of those things happened, but more so because I started feeling not good at all. So yeah, so I was like, that's okay. I'll get up Sunday. I work at the building. Well, I go to church, and I also work at the building that my church has all day on Sunday. And I was like, all right, outside of when I'm actually at church, when I'm actually paying attention, I can get stuff done. Not a big deal. I can do this. Missing one day and getting off track it's not that big of a deal, you know, because I'm really trying to have grace for myself and understand that life happens. Except Sunday, I still did not feel great. I knew that it wasn't like the C19 thing. I knew that it wasn't that. The kids that I watch, like it was their first, second week of school, something like that. And so he had a cold. They had been tested. I tested myself immediately when I was like, I'm not feeling good. I know it's a cold, but I don't want anybody to think that I was just out here like endangering people or whatever, because that's not what. But anyway, so I put on a mask and went to church and went to work at the building. But I didn't have a voice. My voice was very raspy and very hoarse, and it just took a lot of effort to talk. And I just, like, for especially for Strong Finish Saturday, I just didn't want it to look like I was forcing myself to do it, because that's what it would have been. And so I was like, okay. And then much the same thing, I didn't want you guys to have to like be forced to listen to me talk. And I could barely, like, I was talking in my falsetto and like having to take deep breaths to push the air out. It wasn't worth it. And then Monday, I had a little bit of a voice, but Monday is when I started feeling like a total failure. Monday is when the voices from my past started talking to me in my head very loudly, telling me that I wasn't good, that I couldn't do anything, that I couldn't complete anything, that I couldn't even do simple tasks. And it's like, and I felt defeated. And then, so Monday, while my voice was still hoarse, I think my voice was like kind of like it is right now, maybe a little bit hoarse, more hoarse. But I could have done a video on Monday. But I did everything, and I mean everything, instead of doing a video. Everything. Because I felt defeated and I felt like a failure. And even though like I can't see you guys, and I don't know who watches and who doesn't, and I've said before that I do this for me more so than I do for everybody else, but I didn't want you all to look at me and judge me or say the same things that my abuser had said to me. Very convoluted things happening in my mind, which makes this like one of the realest, probably not the most, but one of the realest videos I've ever done. Like, who does this? Who sits in their car and bears their soul? And it's like, yeah, I feel like a failure and I feel defeated. Who does that? This girl. That's who, obviously. Okay, so anyway, so Monday I did everything I possibly could not to do a video. And then yesterday, which was Tuesday, I was like, I'm not defeated, and I'm not a quitter, and like have grace. And my voice was kind of like back down to nothing, and I was tired, and like my body was just like, hey, rest, chick. But at the same time, those other voices, you know, the voice of my abuser was very loud in my head. And even though I accomplished so much yesterday, I still didn't make a video because I felt like I was right back where I started, like gonna have to explain, like, oh, you know, I fell off the wagon and da 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 da, and nobody's gonna take me seriously because I keep failing, like failing to start or failing to finish or whatever you call it. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person who just falls to the background because she doesn't want to cause conflict, or because she's afraid of what people will say, or because her abuser told her that she's not good enough. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. And I have grace for myself. And so I went to bed. I've actually only slept like 3 or 4 hours because I couldn't go to sleep, whatever. But I laid in bed, and I could have made a video while I was laying in bed, but I kind of had to like talk myself up for it or whatever. best foot forward and all that. I didn't want to come on this video like laying in bed, you know, with like sleep or crust or whatever in my eyes. So, but I promised myself that this day, Wednesday, would not close without me doing a video and just being real with you guys and just being honest about what I'm going through. I'm not the only one who feels like a failure. I'm not the only one who hears a voice in their head that tells them they're not good enough. I know I'm not. And maybe the whole purpose of everything that happened in the last couple of days was just to remind me that I am good enough and that I'm not alone. And maybe to remind you or encourage you that you are good enough and you are not alone. So that's it. That's what I got. So I think the best way to end this video today is with a poem. I rarely do those anymore on YouTube, but I think today's video and today's situation calls for a poem. And the poem is called or titled, Am I Good Enough? So I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. And just, I hope that you're encouraged and know that you're not a failure and that life is not hopeless because you fell off of whatever horse you're riding on. And you can get back up again. You are good enough. You are worthy of grace for yourself and so many more positive things. And I love you guys. So thanks for tuning in to Kicking It with Kay. Enjoy this poem, Am I Good Enough? And please hit the bell, subscribe, like, and share this. Also, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. If you're in this boat, let me know. Sometimes just telling somebody that, hey, I'm right there with you, that goes so much further than you could ever imagine. Or sometimes just, and I believe in you, or you got this, or whatever. It's whatever somebody needs. So if you're led, leave a comment. If you're not, thanks for watching and enjoy the poem. All right, guys. I am back inside. It's a couple hours later now. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to get like drained, but I am not going to let this day end on without me fulfilling my promise to myself. Like I said, my voice is starting to get a little bit more scratchy. Yeah, my body's just letting me know, hey girl, you're sick. So yeah. All right, here's the poem. It's not memorized, so if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at it, and my stand for my phone is still at the building. Okay, so, but here it goes. Am I good enough? For 42 years, I have lived on this earth, and for more than were worth my time, I have asked the question, am I good enough? And until recently, I could not recall to memory a time before this all-important question began. As if it developed in infancy, a box that needed to be checked in order for me to succeed, just like crawling, walking, eating with a spoon, and those babbles that turn into words like mama and dad too. Am I good enough? Or must I continue to change my personality, much like I change my clothes in winter, spring, and summer? See, I learned long ago there'd be no one to catch me if I fall. And yet, I continued down this path of perfectly pleasing people. Stripped away everything that gave me individuality, all in the name of hearing your praise. Am I good enough? I have contorted my body to fit its round shape into your square holes until my soul folded and became bruised and battered. And there's nothing left except for shadows. And even then, light would still somehow find its way to my eyes. And as I took you in, the drink I didn't know I'd been thirsting after. You were my God in human form. I swear I tried to find the formula that would have you take notice of these tiny fragmented pieces and see that, yes, indeed, they were me. And I wanted to scream, am I good enough now? But instead, I got myself together and quietly I went to therapy. Now, I am a shell of what I used to be. And where there were once monsters in dark corners, an abundance of light and love now live. I do not seek your approval, nor do I strive for your eyes to see me as anyone's equal. I am alive, and therefore I thrive, a spirit that cannot be controlled. Now, I know you think you hold all the chips and sit on a throne of total power. But I've got news for you. Get ready, because I'm coming after your glass tower. Just because I know I am good enough. And that's it. Am I good enough? And I just, like I said, I just thought that was really appropriate right now. Because along with the voice of my abuser that I hear in my head, I also remember subtle things that maybe they weren't such a big deal, or maybe they wouldn't have been such a big deal if I didn't also have my abuser's voice in my head. But things like the elders in my family, I don't remember them being proud of me, like from teenage years till now. And it took me going to the UK for one of the elders to be like, I'm proud of you. And it took like another of the elders in my family, it took me telling them, oh my gosh, I performed at this festival and it was huge and there were so many people there, for that particular elder to say that they were proud of me. And some of my elders will probably never say it. They don't even speak to me anymore. So like all of that hurt and that angst was there, right there, like speaking right along with the voice of my abuser in my head. And I just wanted to share that poem because, like I said, I am good enough. Just because I'm alive, I'm good enough, and I'm valuable, and I'm worthy for everything this life has. And so are you. And I am going to go now. I gotta go do the bus run and take my man-child home. And then I'm gonna come back and put this video together. And yeah, so I love you guys. And I just can't, I have so many just like thoughts of peace and forgiveness and love and growth for each and every one of you. And I hope it is well received. And I encourage you. And love y'all.